Hi, this is Daniel DiTuro. Homemade pasta takes a little practice, but once you've mastered the technique, you may never want to go back to dry pasta. Dried pasta is inexpensive and convenient. Fresh pasta has a richer flavor and cooks in about half the time. The simplest way to make fresh pasta at home is to invest in a pasta machine. They're available at most Italian stores, some department stores, and through the internet. Another useful utensil is a pastry scraper, but it's not required. The ingredients to make the dough are eggs, all-purpose flour, I'm using 2 cups of flour in this video, and water. Place the flour on your work surface and form a well in the middle. Place the eggs in the well, and then use a fork to beat the eggs until they're a uniform consistency, similar to making scrambled eggs. Next, begin working the flour into the beaten eggs. Use your pastry scraper or a butter knife to help gather the flour into the center of the work surface. Add water 1 or 2 tablespoons at a time and use your hands to work it into the dough until it forms a ball that holds together. The pasta machine will do the kneading. Cover the dough with plastic wrap and let it rest about 15 minutes. You can also use a food processor to make the dough. Add the flour and eggs to the processor bowl. You can reduce the number of eggs to 2 for every 2 cups of flour. If you use 3 eggs, process until the mixture comes together and forms a ball. If you use 2 eggs, process until the mixture resembles moist breadcrumbs. For 2 eggs, add 2 tablespoons of cold water. The amount of water will vary depending on the moisture content of the flour. You can always add more flour or more water as necessary. Using 2 eggs and 2 to 3 tablespoons of water, the mixture should resemble wet sand. Turn the flour mixture out onto your work surface and use your hands to lightly knead it into a ball. Cover the dough with plastic wrap and let it rest 10 to 15 minutes. Until you're proficient, it's easy to work with small pieces of dough. Cover the remaining dough to prevent it from drying out. With the roller set at their widest setting, shape the dough into a disc and run it through the rollers. If the dough is sticky, dust it with flour. Next, fold in the 2 ends or fold it in half and repeat running it through the machine 3 to 4 more times or until smooth and elastic. Set the machine on the next smallest setting and run the dough through the rollers. Repeat until the dough reaches the desired thickness. You can then cut it into sheets for lasagna or fillet for ravioli. Most machines have cutters for fettuccine and spaghetti. I'm running the dough through the fettuccine cutters. An assistant is helpful at this time, but with a little practice, you can use one hand to guide the pasta through the machine while cranking with the other hand. The pasta is now ready to dry. If you're going to cook the pasta immediately after making it, you can lay it out on a tablecloth lightly dusted with flour. For long-term storage, completely dry the pasta. You can use a pasta drying rack or drape the pasta over a broomstick supported by a couple chairs. You can store dried pasta in a cool, dry place for several weeks without refrigeration. Homemade pasta can cook in less than half the time of store-bought dry pasta. Actual cooking time will depend on the thickness and whether it's freshly made or dried. Homemade pasta has about 330 calories per serving, is very low in sodium, but does have about 160 milligrams of cholesterol due to the egg yolks. Thank you for watching. Buon appetito!